Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I hope you all are having a fantastic day, and in today's video we are going to be doing another Walking Dead Q&A, and it's been a little while since I uploaded, man. It's been about a week or so actually, which is crazy because I was just talking about an upload streak, but I got sick one of those nights and just wasn't feeling well, and I'm finally feeling better now. So yeah, thank you guys so much for the patience, and what better way to come back than a Q&A video, right? So anyway, I love you guys so much. Thanks for the love and the support. It really means the world to me. Let's get into it, man. So the first question we have is Q&A. What do you think Lance would have done next if Carol and Daryl had spared his life? Do you think he would help Carol as his old life was over, and maybe he'll admire Carol in place of Pamela Milton who imprisoned him, or do you think he would play along and do something sneaky later on? It's a great question. Lance is a character that I don't really ever get questions about, so this is a really awesome question. I really don't know, to be honest. Lance seemed like one of those guys that was just a sneaky rat. You know what I mean? He was just a sneaky rat. Like, I liked Lance. I thought he was a watchable character. I liked the actor a lot. Really cool. What's his name? Josh Hamilton, I think. Really cool guy. I believe I've talked to him on Instagram through DMs before about Lance and everything and about The Walking Dead, so that was cool. But yeah, no, he's a really cool character and a really cool actor and everything like that. But the character was definitely a little bit like ratty. So I honestly think killing Lance was probably the best thing to do for Daryl and Carol because Lance probably would have ended up backstabbing them down the road. I'm not gonna lie. Um, Second Q&A. If you have time in the video, I mean, come on, I always have time for you guys. Let's be real. Um, when all the characters finally reunite at the end of everything, do you see there being a shocking death? Um, hmm. I really don't know. A shocking death of one of the characters that reunite. I mean, so, I just don't know. You never know with The Walking Dead, bro. I think that's one thing about this show that has always been so interesting, right? With this universe, even from the beginning, all the way back to season one, there were these shocking moments. And, just throughout the series, throughout the last, 14 years we've had The Walking Dead, there's always been these crazy, shocking moments like, Herschel dying and Glenn dying, and even Shane was pretty shocking. I kind of saw it coming, but at the same time, I was thinking, man, are they really going to kill Shane off? You know what I mean? There's just these moments. Lori, all throughout, there's just been these shocking deaths. And I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. Honestly, I think somebody that totally could die and The Walking Dead could still go on would be Carol. I think Carol's a really cool character, and I actually like her and Daryl Dixon a lot. But I think the Walking Dead universe would be okay without Carol. You know what I mean? And I mean that with the utmost respect. I really like Melissa McBride. I really like Carol. I think she's a fine character. Was never really the biggest fan of Carol, but I like her now. But I think the Walking Dead universe would be okay without her. As long as Rick and Daryl are still alive, the Walking Dead's going to be fine. I think for Rick, Michonne needs to stay alive as well. I think Michonne should be involved. Maggie, I think Maggie's cool, but I don't think Maggie's that important. I think she should stay alive, though. I would like Maggie to live. I kind of have a crush on Lauren Cohen, so maybe I'm a little bit biased there. Maybe I don't really watch Dead City for the story, you know what I mean? Maybe I'm watching Dead City just for Lauren Cohen, because I got a crush on her, but I always have had a crush on Maggie, bro. Like, ever since I was a kid, I thought Maggie was just beautiful. I don't know. There's something about her, like that southern charm, you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm into it for sure. Like that farmer, pretty girl charm. I don't know. I like it. But I don't know. I would want Maggie to live just because I have a crush on Lauren Cohen, but Carol could go. I think, honestly, I think Carol would be the one that would die out of anybody, for sure. Rick, maybe, possibly. There's always been a lot of talk about Rick. And you say here in your Q&A question where you're talking about Mason Beale is no likely a threat to Rick. I mean, oh, you even say it. I was just reading the rest of your question. You say, if anyone could die, I think it could be Carol, just a gut feeling. Yeah, so that's interesting that you just said that. I didn't even read the rest of your question, but I agree with you. We agree. Wow, that's awesome. So that's a great question. So yeah, I would agree with you, Carol. Next question we have here is Q&A. Do you think we will get to see Ash and Laurent arrive at the Commonwealth? Or will we never see them again until Dixon is ready to end? Um, I don't know. That's just such a great question, and we just don't really know how it's going to go, right? We don't really know how the whole Ash and Laurent going to the Commonwealth is going to work, right? I just don't really know. I would like to think we're going to see Ash and Laurent arrive to the Commonwealth, and how cool would it be if we saw, Ash and Laurent interact with somebody from the Commonwealth, maybe Eugene or anybody from the OG original series. All I know is whatever moments we get with OG characters from the original series, it's going to be super heartwarming and incredible. Imagine if Laurent and Ash arrived and Eugene and Gabriel were there to meet them, right? Or to greet them. That would be incredible. I mean, it would just be heartwarming. And I just I just don't know, man. I really don't know about that question. It's a great question, but I just don't have the answer. I'm not really sure. I would like to think we're gonna see Ash and Laurent arrive to the Commonwealth. And also the second part of your question says, also, how does Ash know where to go? Carol never told him. Maybe she told him off screen. I think they should have shown that though, for sure. She should have given him, you know, did she give him a map? I can't remember. Did she give him a map? I'm not really sure. I don't remember. But I don't know. Maybe she, gave him a map or it was something off screen potentially. I mean, that could have happened. I'm sure they'll probably write that in if that actually is just like a plot hole, right? I'm sure they'll end up saying, like, oh, yeah, Carol gave Ash a map and directions off screen. You know what I mean? So I'm not sure. That's probably not that big of a deal, though. Another question we have today is Q&A. Do you think Laurent will struggle to adapt to life after the Union of Hope, like Ginny, or will he fit in much better than she did? Um, I think he'll fit in better. I think he seems a little bit more intelligent than she does, and I think he's just, I don't know. I really just think Laurent's going to adapt better than she did. I don't really know why, but I just kind of think he comes across more intelligent to me, and I think he believes in himself more. You know what I mean? I think he really believes in himself, so I think he'll be able to adapt pretty easily, honestly. Um, Next Q&A question we have is Q&A. Do you think Rick and Michonne would have still dated if Lori was alive? Great question. I love stuff like this. I love the questions that throw it back to the old days that really make you think. You know what I mean? This is a great question. So, if Lori would have never died, would Michonne and Rick have still started dating? Hmm. I don't know. I kind of I'm kind of leaning towards no because I think Lori and Rick would have really tried to work things out for the baby. And I think if they could have gotten past all that like drama and all the issues they had and everything like that, I honestly believe they would have worked things out and probably stayed together. I think in the end, Rick and Lori really did love each other. I think that there was just a lot of these crazy end of the world situations that they had some slight disagreements on. But I think in the end, they did love each other. And I think once the baby, would have been born and, Lori and Rick could have talked things out and through time and seeing the baby grow up and stuff like that, you just realize it's so much bigger than just yourselves. You know what I mean? Like life is so much bigger than just you. I think they would have worked things out. So I honestly don't believe they would have been together. I don't believe Rick and Michonne would have started dating if Lori would have lived. I really don't believe that. I think they would have worked it out. I honestly do. Um, and I think this is the last question, guys. Oh wait, no, actually, it is. It is the final question for today's video. So, final question, Q&A. If you were to save any character from their death, who would it be? Huh. That's a really great question because if I have to just choose one character, so here's the thing. This is a really difficult question because you're talking about choosing to save a character. Is it the character that I love the most that died, or is it the character that I think would just be better for the show overall? Because there's a part of me that wants to say Glenn, right? Because Glenn was one of my favorite characters, but I also think the show would have done better if Glenn would have survived all the way to the end, or at least till the very end. If Glenn died in season 11, obviously that'd be sad, but I think in the end, Glenn dying really did hurt The Walking Dead even more than Carl. Honestly, I believe that wholeheartedly. So I would say, it's got to be either like Glenn or, hmm, it's got to be either Glenn or Shane, dude. I really did like Shane. Shane was always one of my favorite characters. I know he wasn't that great of a guy, but I really wish Shane would have just changed and became a better person. And then, boom, I think Shane was so watchable. John Bernthal, such a cool guy. Um, And imagine if Shane came back into the show like 5 years, 6 years later or something, right? And he was like with the Saviors or something. And then um, he helped Rick and them. Imagine how cool that would be to have Shane back in season 9. And then Rick leaves the show and Shane's still there. You know what I'm saying? He kind of becomes like the new leader. I don't know. It would have been really interesting. I think it really would have been awesome. I think that situation would have been awesome. Imagine Shane leaves, finds himself with the Saviors or something down the road. I know it doesn't really make sense, but let's just go with it. And then all of a sudden, boom, he helps Rick and the group get away from the Saviors, right? And then Rick ends up getting blown up on the helicopter, not blown up, blown up on the bridge and taken away in the helicopter. And then Shane's kind of there, and he's kind of like the new leader and stuff. Shane and Daryl really close and everything like that, and all that. And Shane's just a changed man. He's a really good dude, and he's like there with Judith and everything like that. I don't know, man. That would have been freaking awesome, bro. And then like Rick comes back, and Shane's like, "I helped keep him safe this whole time, just like I promised you I would," and everything. You know what I mean? I don't know. It would just be really, it would be really awesome. It would be really interesting, honestly. Obviously there's some like plot holes in my story, but I think like if you did it the right way, it could have been really awesome. So I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards Shane, but I'm gonna say Glenn. I think bringing back Glenn would be awesome. If I could have gone back and saved Glenn, I think I would, because Glenn's death was really detrimental to the Walking Dead success. I think, in my opinion, a lot of people stopped watching when Glenn died, and man, I realized a lot of casual viewers really loved Glenn. A lot of people that watched The Walking Dead back in the day, they always said, dude, Glenn is so awesome. He's so amazing. So I think Glenn was a lot of people's favorite character, man. So yeah, I'm gonna say Glenn off the top of my head. So thank you guys so much for the questions. It really means the world to me. I'm gonna leave it here. It's been a fun video, and like I said, was not really feeling that great over the last week, so I took a little break. But I'm back now, and I'm gonna try my best to do daily videos for at least a week, just to make up for the last week. So the channel was growing really well, so I really appreciate all the love and all the support. If you stayed all the way to the end of the video, thank you very much. It really helps me. Please be sure to drop a like and subscribe. Drop a comment down below. Remember, if you want to get your question answered, the best way to do it is just to drop a comment down below, or hit me up on Instagram at Daryl's_vest. Send me a message. Let me know your questions. Yeah, I really appreciate it. I love you guys. Stay safe out there in the crazy world, man. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.